My name is Majalise Tolan. I'm in my second year as superintendent of Lincoln County School District, and prior to that, I was a high school principal and the secondary director in charge of career and technical education and any of our post-secondary opportunities. So CTE is career and technical education, and really it's all encompassing of having students ready for whatever they want to do when they graduate from us. So it's really important that when we look at CTE, we're looking at the skills that they have that make them employable in any job field, not just the ones that we might offer. So in Lincoln County, we might offer a program in natural resources and have a big distinction on forestry. But there might be a student in there who their idea of natural resources in the area they want to go to is in landscape management or in parks and recreation. And so we have an opportunity and an obligation to be exposing kids to all of the areas of a field of study, and that's really what career and technical education is. It's exposing them to fields of study that help give them employable job skills for when they leave us, whether they want to go to college or they want to go straight into the workforce. We want them ready for the career or the technical side. Yeah, so the way we have our students in Lincoln County get involved with career and technical education is when they go into any sort of forecasting and they start to decide their electives, we've been very intentional about making sure our electives are field driven. So whether they're going into the arts, we want them ready to be able to take any of our visual or performing arts opportunities that they have, or if they want to go into career related fields for their electives. So they might sign up to take a foods class their freshman year while they're at TAF 712 or at Toledo Junior Senior High. That foods class gives them the introductory skills that they would need to enter the culinary program or a hospitality and management program as they move on through their high school years. In some cases, we're working on making sure we have early exposure at the middle level. So what courses could they take as an elective, maybe on a wheel, where they get to experience the shop, or they get to make small projects or items in communications or in photography, so that they already have dabbled with the career that they might be interested in, and then can take the courses when they have more of a choice at the secondary level. We have a lot, so we're going to try to rattle them off here just off the top of my head, and we're really proud of all of them, so we really hope we don't slide them. We'll start down in South County. So in South County, we're able to offer natural resources. It's a forestry-based program. We're also able to offer a digital design course down there where they might do things with 3D printing. They might do things with arts-related field, really anything that can be used to make vinyl banners or any sort of design, t-shirt printing, all of that. So as we move into East County, when we look at Toledo, we did just get to expand a CTE offering in Toledo this year. We were really excited about. We have been able to offer manufacturing and construction. That includes things like welding, wood construction, any sort of different kind of material technology that students can use is offered out at Toledo, which is fantastic. And you can see some of their work actually when you're on the campus at Toledo as well. We also are able to offer a communications course that does a lot of work in graphic design and also in photography and yearbook and in work like that. And then this year we were able to expand and offer culinary. So we'd offered foods at an elective level out at Toledo, but we've now been able to have a certified culinary program that we're really excited about. Expanding CTE can be difficult because it requires teacher licensure. You have to have enough periods of the day, and they're expensive programs to start. So we don't generally just jump right in year one in a CTE, but we start with a pre-career program and make sure we have enough interest for sustainability and we can fund it long term. And so we were officially able to add culinary in East County and Toledo this year. When you move into West County, when you're looking at Newport, we are able to offer wood shop again. So we were just able to add that back the last couple of years ago, and they're expanding into welding now. We're getting ready to open the welding bays at Newport High, which we're excited about. And we have a commercial art and communications program there. They work together, so some students might work in photography and what that looks like commercially, as well as production. And then we have some students who are working on how do you do commercial art and a large larger scale through mural design and items like that, and t-shirt making, graphic arts. And then we have a very long-standing program at Newport High in early childhood education. And in that program, they're not just looking at what early childhood education is, which is a big need in Lincoln County, but also pre-teaching program, which is exceptional for us in a grow your own model. For us to be able to sustain our workforce as rural as we are, we really need to make sure that we're growing our own. And so that program of study aligned with Oregon Coast Community College and then Western Oregon University allows us to grow our own right here for educational workforce. And then last but not least, when you move up to North County, we have a couple different programs up there. We've got natural resources forestry. So that was an ad that we were able to put into place a few years ago. They do some work with Lincoln City Parks and Rec, and then they also work just on the property that we own in Lincoln County and how they can help with management of the land that we have, which has been a great addition up in North County. Then we also have commercial art, digital design up in Lincoln City. So there may be times you've been at awards presentations across the county and you've seen an award made by one of our students, and they were able to do that through their business. They also have items that are for sale in different businesses throughout Lincoln City, which is a great ad for that program. And we have our award-winning culinary program up in Lincoln City. So that one has been there longer than I have, and I'm going on my 18th year here. So Lincoln City's had a culinary program for a very long time. And again, you've probably been at an event in Lincoln County where our students have been catering that event, and they've been passing around hors d'oeuvres and telling you how they made their tasty treats. Whenever I'm at an event, I like to put in a plug for some of my favorites. So it's great to see the students out there talking about what they can do. So we have a lot of dreams for career and technical education in Lincoln County, and it's very, very interesting because we're operating on the 4 high schools that I'm directly responsible for, as well as the expansion of career and technical at our charter schools. So Siletz has added culinary, and they are working on expanding that through. And then Eddyville has a very strong culinary and shop program out there as well. So trying to figure out how is it that we can have really 6 high schools that are offering career and technical education in our county and find ways to learn what this county wants to see more of. So we have an event every year that we put on. We call it CTE Day in partnership with the college. We're very lucky to have Oregon Coast Community College right here for us. That is a strong program that we are able to partner with for expansion maybe when we're not able to. So when we talk about what do we want to see happen next, I think growing that partnership is one of our best ways, because we can't just add a new teacher every time we want to add a program. We still have the same number of students and actually are declining, although the workforce needs are growing. And so we really have to be able to balance how that works and how we can do it. We need to hear from the community. What does the community need? What does workforce need? We'll be attending Gear Up, which is helping students to be college and career ready. We're attending an event that they're sending us to this year. We're very excited about. We're going with Samaritan Hospital System, Lincoln County School District, and the Siletz Tribe, and Oregon Coast Community College. Will be going to a Cradle to Career workshop and really looking at how can we expand an area. And one that we are very interested in is how can we have our students ready to enter the health occupations career field, whether they're ready to get into it right away in entry-level programs such as the nursing assistant program, moving into the nursing program, or there might be a different avenue. We really have a need in health occupations in Lincoln County. We want to know that we're doing our part as a district to prepare students for that. So that's a big one that we're working on. I'm very, very happy to see that Oregon Coast Community College is going to be building their vocation center and the ability that that's going to have to change different occupations based on county need and what we're looking at. But a dream of mine would also be to have one of our own. And that's not just an easy turnaround and do it tomorrow. When we are this spread out and to start programs where we might have 2 natural resources programs, our teachers can only teach entry level 1, entry level 2, and maybe a 3rd or a 4th year expansion program. If we were able to offer year 1 and year 2 introductory courses across our county, somehow with a dream, and then move students into years 3 and 4 in a form of a hub where they go to really learn application skills in year 3 and year 4, I think that we would be able to expand our offerings, not just at our normal high schools, but also expand the offering and the niche career and technical areas of need for occupations in our county. So that's a big dream. And, we'll see if that happens during my time here or if it's going to take somebody else to come in and make that happen. But I definitely think that that is something that would really grow Lincoln County and really prepare our students. Yeah, if I had unlimited money and resources, can I have two things? I'm going to build two things. So unlimited money and resources, I would build a CTE hub, much like what the college is doing, but really focus on the post-secondary that our students are ready for, that would be application-based. It would incorporate the core courses, the English courses that they need to graduate from high school, the math courses that they need to graduate, so they wouldn't have to go here for part of their day or transfer here or go to this school, but they would be able to, their junior and senior year, go to this hub school, and they would be able to get all of their core courses to graduate from an Oregon high school, as well as be doing through an application-based model, maybe through some apprenticeship programs or a deeper hands-on learning component that we would be able to offer. That's one. The second one is I really think that we need an alternative method of learning in Lincoln County for students that is incredibly hands-on based. So how can we put students in an environment where they want to be outside, they want to be hands-on learning, and the whole model is designed around that. I joke around about how it would be like a farm school, but I'm not really joking. So there are other schools that have been able to do this. We're actually getting ready to go and visit one that's relatively local to us, that they have a chicken farm. And so the students are learning math and they're learning science and they're doing all of the core subjects that they need through the lens of the chicken farm, including business and marketing and proper health and safety and all of those components. And then they move up in that same school and they're looking at construction. And so what do they need to know to be able to not just build a chicken coop, but to build some of the tiny homes that people might need and other construction-based programs that are on a smaller scale, but we can teach all of the components around construction to give them as many hands-on opportunities as possible. Those schools that are doing it, though, they don't say we're going to do this and we're not going to do this. So they might take Writing 121 or they might take a college-level technical writing while they're in that program, because what we want them to do is have the options to do whatever they want to do when they leave us. And so just saying you're a CTE kid or just saying you're a college-bound kid isn't really exposing them to all of the options they need for their post-secondary education. And so we want to make sure that we give all of that to them while they're here, whether they're in a brick and mortar or I get my dream and we have this other school or we get a CTE hub, whatever that looks like. We need to make sure that we're doing it in an authentic way, that regardless, we're not pigeonholing any student when they're 16 years old to say, this is what you're going to do tomorrow. And some know, and that's great. And I want to give them that opportunity. But I also want to give the exposure so that if they want to change their mind when they're 22, I know that I've given them some of the skills that they need to change their mind at 22 and still be successful. So when we talk about how is Lincoln County preparing workforce and what do they do, I'm going to go to an example of when Oregon School Boards Association did a story on Lincoln County expanding, because we've actually expanded quite a few of our programs in the last 6 or 7 years. So we were up in Lincoln City and we had a student and the teachers selected. I said, I'm bringing a reporter up and I'll walk around with the student, but you pick the student and tell me how it goes. And so they picked the student and she started and she said, I'm actually not going into early childhood education or forestry. It's a student who was in both. And I'm like, well, this was not the best pick. Like, why'd you pick this student? And so, but she kept talking. And it was the best student to possibly pick. And it really is what we want out of our program. So she had picked early childhood education because she wants to work in real estate. And she said, if I'm in real estate, then I'm probably going to be selling houses to people who already have kids or might want to have kids or their grandkids are going to visit. And I want to be able to highlight all of the safety features or the great things about this house when it comes to somebody who is thinking about children. And so where would they want to live and what's safe and what does the yard look like? And then right after she said yard, she said, and I'm taking forestry because forestry and natural resources, we're learning about landscaping and we're learning about how we can have a garden and we're learning all of these outside elements that weren't anything I was thinking of that she would talk about. And she said, as a realtor, I'm going to want to be able to look at a piece of property and give people ideas of what that property could look like. And I thought, they picked the best kid they could have possibly picked for this, because we'll never be able to offer a program of study for every single occupation that a student wants. But we do have the responsibility to expose them to all of the skills they might need for any occupation they could want. And so that really showed that she had that capability. She's a very intelligent student, and I think she would have been able to get there on her own with those thoughts and ideas. I also think she had educators who, in CTE, they're also looking at all of the ways those skills can be applied. And you can definitely tell that her teachers had also been helping her on how can you apply this to a certain career field and how can you apply that to a certain career field. So I really think that that is how CTE in Lincoln County can support the workforce, or is supporting the workforce, is by really preparing them with skills that they need for where we're at. I also think we have a responsibility to be responsive to our community. And although I don't think we're as responsive in everywhere that everyone would like us to be yet, I think there are some examples with the welding program that we've been able to establish with Oregon Coast Community College and Port of Toledo. We would not be able to have students coming out welding out of North County and up until recently West County if it hadn't been for that partnership. We couldn't afford it. We couldn't afford the staff. It would have been too much travel time. But by being able to do that partnership, we were able to help the Port of Toledo start to gain employees that they could have, and able to help Oregon Coast Community College get a program of study that they can offer across the entire county to adult learners, and now have that capability. If Lincoln County would have done that by ourselves, that wouldn't have helped the port and that wouldn't have helped the college. But by working together like that, we're definitely able to have a model of how we can grow our workforce. And that's my hope with adding some level of health occupations outside of the nursing assistant program that we already have and the nursing program at Oregon Coast Community College. Really figuring out how can a number of us tackle the health occupation industry and have the district really playing its part to prepare students for that occupation. If I could tell anybody in Lincoln County really anything I want, it's that career and technical education is alive and happening in Lincoln County schools. Regularly, like a lot of people, I get some news off of social media, and I see constant shares and posts about how we need to bring career and technical education back. We're missing these job embedded skills in our educational system. And I don't disagree that we need to bring it back better than we currently have it, but it is back and we are doing a number of things. And with the passage of Measure 98 that is now turned into high school success, we've been able to really improve our programs. We're making them more job ready. They're learning industry trade skills that are current, which has cost a lot of money to be able to do that. And the more input we're getting from the workforce in the county, the more consistently we can be bringing those things up to speed. And so I guess what I would say is I'm proud of the career and technical education programs we have. I'm proud of our students that are enrolled in them. I'm very proud of our teachers and the work they put into them. And what I would hope for is that we continue to build industry partnership across our county so that we know we are producing students that are workforce ready, that are college ready, that are career ready, and that have those opportunities because we've established them as strong as possible at the secondary level. Yeah, if anybody wants to get involved in our mission of making very strong career and technical education programs in Lincoln County possible, we welcome their ideas, we welcome their suggestions, we welcome their donations, we really welcome any of their partnership. It's great to have people tell us this might be something to do, and we'll definitely look into that. What I really value is the partnership. Who wants to come and talk to our kids about the skills that they need to be ready for their occupation? Who wants to spend some time with our staff telling them, hey, this is a skill that I can show you that we're starting to do in our industry? Who wants to come in and be an approved volunteer that is in some of our CTE programs supporting students maybe on a more specific project? Those types of things can go such a long way in making sure that we are promoting the students in the way that we need to so that they're ready to be great employees and great workforce developers in our county. So getting a hold of the local high schools, Eddyville, Siletz, I know they're the same. They would welcome people in. Taft 712 up in the north area, Walport High School, Toledo High School, Newport High School. All of them would welcome having contact with industry partners and with anybody who just wants to sit down and talk about how students are doing, or come and check out the equipment that we have and see, is this the kind of equipment that we need to be having them use right now to have them ready so that we know that we're doing the best we can do.